This is Joseph Smith, and he deserves a spot in the APUSH Hall of Fame because of the massive impact he had on westward expansion, the legacy he left behind, and how he changed how Americans think about religious freedom through his creation of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. After Joseph Smith was killed for his controversial beliefs, his followers moved west and settled in Utah. This played a big part in the U.S. expanding its territory during Manifest Destiny. In the West, they built cities like Salt Lake City, they set up farms, trade routes, and helped connect the region to the rest of the country. Smith also challenged what religious freedom really meant by introducing new controversial beliefs, scriptures, and practices like polygamy. This sparked a lot of debate and backlash. Although he was super controversial, the religion he started is still around today with millions of members and a huge influence on American culture and politics.
Used alcohol to alter your mood or deliberately change your state of mind?
Sure.
Do you sometimes have a drink to celebrate a special occasion or mark a holiday?
Obviously.
Have you ever, under the influence of alcohol, questioned the teachings of the Mormon Church? Where did you get?
Joseph Smith was born in 1805 in Vermont into a large, poor farming family. Life was hard for them. The Smiths moved around a lot, chasing opportunities and trying to survive. He grew up during what's known as the Second Great Awakening, a huge Protestant religious revival that swept across the U.S. People are asking big questions about faith, salvation, and truth. New churches and movements were popping up everywhere. At just 14 years old, Smith said he had a vision, one that would change everything. He claimed he saw God the Father and Jesus Christ, who told them none of the existing churches were right. A few years later, Joseph said he was visited by an angel named Moroni, who led him to a set of golden plates buried in a hill near his home. These plates contained the ancient writings from prophets who had lived in the Americas. Joseph Smith took the plates and translated them into what became the Book of Mormon, which was a new volume of scripture that expanded on the Bible. In 1830, he published a book and officially founded a new church, the Church of Jesus Christ, which later became the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. The church started small, just 6 official members, and they met in Fayette, New York. But the message spread fast, and within just a few months, hundreds of people were converting to what became known as Mormonism. Despite this, Mormons were not given a warm welcome. Smith and his followers faced intense suspicion, hostility, and violence. Neighbors accused them of being a cult, mobs attacked them, and the church was forced to move again and again. First, they moved to Kirtland, Ohio, where they built a temple, and then to Missouri, where things got really ugly. The locals were alarmed by the Mormons' growing numbers and their tight-knit communities. Tensions boiled over, and in 1838, the governor of Missouri issued an extermination order. He declared that Mormons had to be driven out or killed. In Missouri, Smith was arrested. He escaped and eventually settled in Nauvoo, Illinois, where he built what looked like a peaceful, thriving city, complete with its own militia, a grand temple, and thousands of Mormon followers. Although it seemed peaceful, behind the scenes, controversy was brewing. Smith had introduced polygamy, or plural marriage, meaning a man could have multiple wives. This was a secret and highly controversial practice. Many of his own Mormon followers were confused and upset by it. When a local newspaper in Nauvoo exposed the practice of polygamy, Smith ordered the press was destroyed. This inflamed public anger, and he was arrested again. On June 27, 1844, a mob stormed Carthage jail and murdered Joseph and his brother. So I know you're wondering, why does he actually matter in American history? First of all, he played a major role in westward expansion. After his death, thousands of Mormons went west, all the way to Salt Lake City, which was then a part of Mexico. They built farms and cities and helped establish what would become Utah. Their settlement helped the U.S. make a stronger claim to Western lands, especially after the Mexican-American War. You could argue the Mormon migration helped shape the whole American West. Second of all, Smith pushed the ideas and limits of religious freedom. He wasn't just another preacher. He claimed to be a modern-day prophet. He had new revelations, new scriptures, and new practices, including polygamy and communal living. This raised big legal and cultural questions, like how far can religious freedom go? Can a church have its own army? And can a church teach things that clash with U.S. law or public values? Third and lastly, Joseph Smith's legacy is huge. When he started out, he had a small circle of believers. Today, the church has over 17 million members worldwide. It's one of the most successful religious movements that ever started in the U.S. Mormon members have gone on to become senators, CEOs, and even TikTok influencers. Mormonism continues to shape American politics, culture, and people's ideas about faith, family, and community. So was Joseph Smith controversial? Absolutely. But whether you see him as a prophet or a cult leader, you can't deny he changed American religion, helped drive westward migration, and left a powerful mark on U.S. history.
Been stepping on shit since my mama stayed in them apartments. Regardless, my daddy told me keep the heat even when I'm in foreigns.